Warren and Sanders call for Postmaster General Louis Dejoy to be fired over partisan sabotage, not fired, arrested. Immediately. You mean arrested for voter suppression, election rigging, and violation of voting rights and violations of the Constitution. Fixed it for yat. Dejoy needs to go to the jail. He painted himself into a tough corner. Probably didn't realize that interference in elections is a state crime for which he can't get a presidential pardon. As soon as he noticed over 40 state AGs investigating him, he realized just how big a pile of crap he just made for himself. His only rather slim hope now is to pretend all of his actions were entirely unrelated to the election and that they were necessary for the proper functioning of the USPS. To maintain that story, he can't undo any changes that he's made because he still needs to pretend those changes had nothing to do with the election. I doubt it will work, but it's all he's got. I can't see him not going to prison. How about arrested instead of fired? Firing him won't help. Trump can always find a bigger piece of shit, but he should definitely be fired and indicted for election interference, stat. He needs to be criminally charged. The fact that they purposely destroyed those machines so they couldn't be put back into service speaks to malicious intent. If it was really because they weren't needed, why not just turn them off or warehouse them or even resell them? They pulled them apart and stuck them out in the rain to purposely ensure they couldn't be reinstalled once the scheme came out. That is 100% malicious intent. Why is it always Warren and Sanders? Like, for real, do other senators just sit there? Not a mention in r/conservative. He should be prosecuted for treason. Him and DT. How about tried for sedition and treason? The trolls are already crawling around this sub, claiming this was a cost-saving measure. Call them out. This had nothing to do with finances. This was partisan sabotage. The USPS could easily keep running as it was, financially speaking. No bailout required. This is where we are now. The POTUS is fixing an election in broad daylight, and there's no hope of legal consequences even for his little mini mess. The height of resistance is to call for this guy to be fired, and everybody knows even that much is a pipe dream. This is not what democracy looks like, folks. Dude has 30 million in UPS stocks, then deliberately hinders his competition. This is literally the pinnacle of collusion and insider trading. There literally isn't a form of insider trading that could get worse than this. Our president appointed a shareholder to be the CEO of his competitor, then defunded and slowed every part of the organization, which makes both of them loads of money. There cannot be a worse form of insider trading than being the literal top man of an opposing organization, and was appointed there by the fucking president, the president. Prison would be better. I just watched part of this guy's testimony to Congress. Holy shit, the amount of stammering he did. I wonder if Dejoy's $700 million loan will qualify for the Treasury's forgiveness plan. Arrested. Arrested. Why isn't there someone that can arrest him? He lied to Congress. Here's committing election fraud. He was illegally appointed. He made changes before sending them through the proper review process. The fucking end. Jail. If a branch of Congress can't, then surely the military should step in and stop an obvious coup. He always looks so fucking pleased with himself. We are on the verge of becoming a dictatorship. Dejoy gets away with high crimes because Trump, who is guilty of higher crimes, would pardon him, and Moscow Mitch and Russia Ron Johnson are aiding and abetting. Fired. It's interesting to see Americans place so little value in their democracy that intentionally sabotaging a presidential election is a less serious offense than stealing a loaf of bread, which can get you a prison sentence and a criminal record. Am I the only one that thinks what this guy did justifies him being arrested? What in the hell are the Democrats doing here? People have been executed for less than what Dejoy has done to our election system. WTF is going on here? Fired. Out of a cannon. Into a volcano. On Venus. Can we ask the military to decommission some warplanes, ships, and nukes? They are not needed either. He should be. The board won't fire him though. Blatant slap in the face of our country. Reminds me of WMD bullshit that they spun. Partisan sort of implies that the GOP is a political party. They are a fascist group of treasonous criminals. It would be more precise to call them a subdivision of the Russian mafia at this point. I know that they are not related. Okay, relatively sure, but I think it's funny that the USPS situation is hitting the fan the week Bannon gets taken down by the USPS. Nothing will happen. Please prove me wrong. This guy's a major tool for Trump, nothing more. And he's suppressing the American right to vote. He should absolutely be arrested. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters to me is undoing the damage he's done before November. Do y'all think that will happen? 'Cause I don't. Everything feels like a farce, and the verbiage that the Democratic Party has been using makes them appear toothless, and leaves me with little faith. Do others share the same sentiments, or am I off kilter? I would also like to see them discuss the financial interests he and his wife have in USPS competition companies. True that the dismantling/slowdown of the USPS is a crucial and timely matter, but, not enough attention is being given to the other grift. I really hate this dude. As a small business operator, we really rely on timely postal delivery. I have reagents that I needed being held up or lost completely by USPS. Personal online shopping packages are often delayed by up to 2 weeks despite purchasing 2-day shipping options. This is just unacceptable to actively harm the people. Dude looks like a fucking 1-week-old infant in that photo. What an asshole. How about arrested instead? How about tried for election interference? Has any call for a resignation or firing ever actually worked in recent memory? Every Trump associate is both thoroughly corrupt and criminal. Sure as the sunrise. Although partisan sabotage of the federal government has been the name of the game ever since Putin's cockholster took over almost 4 years ago, from consumer protections, to the EPA, CDC, FEMA, IRS, not to mention the atrocities going on at the DOJ and the Department of Education, and it's not just the executive branch. How many ignored bills are sitting on Moscow Mitch's desk? From that thumbnail I was like, how is Kevin O'Leary mixed up in this? The plant in Shrewsbury Ma had 11 DPS machines. 4 have been dismantled and removed from the building. Oh boy, he looks rather like a villain. Are there any Republicans who have said the same? They just should get a bunch of scumbags of the street to beat him up, film it in 4K, and upload it on the internet. This is a crime, throw his ass in jail. I don't know why we allow posts from shit news sources like Newsweek on here or anywhere else. Especially after that incredibly misleading op-ed they posted about Harris and their defense of it. Newsweek should be considered no more truthful than any right-wing media source. Can I just add, in the last month, all my mail has been delayed, here on a Hawaiian neighbor island. Took 4 weeks to get Amazon deliveries. This shit is real and it's crazy. The Board of Governors, https://about USPS.com/who/leadership/board governors/ every single one a Trump appointment. Good luck getting them to fire Dejoy. Let's say Biden becomes president. Then let's also say, inexplicably, he has the gumption to go after the criminals of the Trump administration. How does the Justice Department win? After Trump appointed so many gamer judges and so many of these people are billionaires with plenty of money for lawyers to drag things out, what is the strategy, and what needs to be done to strengthen the Justice Department to cause the most amount of harm on Trump's criminal clique as possible?